Welcome to Strong, Happy, Healthy, Loved. I'm your host, Carl, and today we've got Mike Taiapa from the New Zealand Army. I spent some time with him there, and we've got a lot of stories about that and what it's like on the other side of the green machine. So, Mike, it's an honour to have you on here today, bro. Thank you very much
Sure,
for coming
bro.
on the show.
Yeah. Thank you for having us, brother, and good to see you as well after, a few moons.
Oh, I'll
Yeah,
talk about it. It's
well,
going to
brother.
a lot of moons, eh? Awesome. So, what inspired you to join the army originally, Mike?
Oh, so it was probably like when I was about 7 or 8 years old, eh? My brother was doing an LSV course down in Burnham. This is in the late 80s and all that. Saw him march out, eh? And he was all decked out in his uniform, and I was like, starstruck. Going, wow, always wanted to look up to my siblings. So he was probably the first flame that started it. And then there was a second person. So in Whitehall, over in the Hawke's Bay, there wasn't much going on,
Is
And
that where you grew up?
yeah, I grew up in Whitehall, Hawke's Bay, or out at Mahi as well. And the culture that I had over there was surfing, drinking, and smoking dope.
Yeah.
That was the lifestyle. It was cruisy, laid back, not much happening. And then this man came over and he was in the Warragul District Council and he wanted to start up a cadet unit. So he approached the high school. This was in the early 90s, and yeah, he believed in all of us. He believed in us that we were going to make something of ourselves, eh? And he started up at the cadet unit. We went away on courses, we went away on competitions, and we started winning stuff. So because he had that belief in us, we started having the belief in ourselves.
Yeah,
So
awesome.
yeah, that was the second flame.
Yeah.
And then as I started progressing through my career, I realized that the history name of Taiapa is quite strong within World War One and World War Two. Yeah, I started finding out the family history of who served in the military as well. So it was yeah, sort of like confirmed the inspiration as to why I wanted to join, man.
Yeah, in the family,
Yeah,
eh? Yeah.
yeah.
So
It was
cool.
built in the family, so that was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you find out about many of your relatives that served from back then?
Yeah, so in around about 2012, I was fortunate enough to go over to the Battle of El Alamein, the 75th commemorations, and we took about 25, 26 veterans over.
Yep,
The
yep.
youngest was 89. The youngest was 89. The oldest was about 94. They had
Wow.
they had about three nurses attached to them, eh, and we had to do short trips to get to Egypt. And every time we stopped, they just take off from their nurses, eh? And they'll
Oh,
be at the bar. They'll be at the bar having a whiskey or a rum or something, eh? Yeah. So
case.
yeah, when we got over to Egypt and all that, all their stories started to come out, and then we were looking over at the grave sites of all the fallen soldiers, and I happened to stumble across my great granduncle. Yeah, he was
Wow.
buried
Just
over
just
there
just by chance.
just by chance.
That's amazing, man.
Pure chance that he was over there. Yeah. And then one of the veterans that was with us, his name was Bom Gillies, so he was the last surviving 20th Multi Battalion member
Okay,
that
yep.
recently passed away over here. He was with him the night he died. So he told me a
Wow.
story about the events that night. So it was just amazing, amazing hearing the stories, actual life stories.
What a mind blow being there and then talking to someone that was with him on the
Yeah,
actual night. That is, what's the chances of that? That's some synchronicity lining up there, man. That's
yeah,
inspiring as, eh?
that's right. The stars were aligning that day, eh? And it was just amazing stories, eh?
Oh,
Mm.
wow. And what's that? What is some of your memories from joining the army? How about basic training? We'll start there.
Yeah, it was quite interesting, eh? Like, because it was all of us from up the coast, we congregated in Palmerston North by bus, and we were the last ones to arrive. So we all the crosshairs were on us straight away, and then we arrived in Waiuru, and it was a bit of a shock and capture. Everyone get off the bus,
Yeah, don't forget
you
that
know?
day.
Yeah, everyone get off the bus, and everyone's screaming at you, and you got these big solid NCOs sitting there waiting for you. And I remember about five or six people, they must have strategically parked the bus beside there's this little fence and it's got like the chain. And like I remember people jumping over or trying to jump over with all their bags, and about five people face plant. First day, lost about 20 people, signed their 717, didn't even
Yeah.
want to join.
Yeah.
And basic training was a real good memory, eh?
What
Like,
year was that? What year did you join?
so 97,
Yep.
yeah,
Nice.
97, so
Yeah.
basic 298.
Yeah, I was 296. I joined January 97.
Ah, yeah, right, right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Wow, cool.
yeah, brother. And I remember like they teach us basic stuff like, ironing your clothes, shaving properly and all that before we start getting into the field stuff. This one NCO, man, there's one strong memory. We'd never seen him before. He'd come in and he must have went to a party or something because he came back in and his whole face was busted.
Yep.
And he was taking us for his shaving lesson, you know. He was talking to us. He had this big bar of soap, cold water, and he started thinging his head, and he just goes, "Hey, you just get a razor and you just start shaving against the grain." And as he was shaving, he was cutting his head, and blood was just pouring down his face,
Wow.
Blood was just pouring down his face, Then he just goes, and then you get the water, you throw it over to close the pores, and that's how you do. That's how you shave. And then he quit. Blood still pouring down his face, And all the boys were like, "What the?"
What a out of it, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that was an introduction to shaving lesson. And after that lesson, 5 people got out.
Oh, I'm
Didn't.
not surprised, eh?
Didn't
That's brutal.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine if he gave you a shave.
Oh, stuff like that, eh? You just never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got some real good memories because it sort of sets you up once you do your basic training to lead into your core training, eh? You
Yeah.
specialize what you want to do, and because we were infantry, by the time we finished basic training and we marched out, we were gunning, wanting to, earn our right to be an infantryman,
Yeah.
you know. So when started July '97 down in Burnham,
Yep.
yeah, down in Burnham, and had a real solid NCOs, real solid instructors down there. But what I didn't know is that one of the boys from your call training, I think we had the same NCOs.
Oh,
They
okay. Yeah.
they told our NCOs that I was going to be on this basic. So I found
Oh.
out that he swapped names with me to someone else for a box of beer. So it'd be in his section.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. He was telling me after, and I was just cracking up.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So they're doing little deals on the side of who they wanted.
Yeah.
But I have to say, core training was awesome, man. You know, it really tested you as an individual, and then working as a team, and it really got you sort of like click together when you go through hardships, real hard
Yeah.
times and all that. Being
Yeah.
cold, being wet, deprived of sleep and all that. You have to be still as sharp as you can, and you sort of like get those real solid bonds, And then our officers just kept talking about the red diamond, the importance of the red diamond,
Yeah.
you know, the red and green call belt.
Yeah, I remember those days, man. It's like I think too because for me we're really young and bonding and being together with friends for extended periods of times, almost we felt like brothers and had been together for a long time. We developed that relationship really early on, I think, especially after core training. And
Oh,
once core training started, it was yeah, we were some pretty tight mates, and it's that sort of creates that family and moving forward.
yeah, 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 for sure, definitely, And then another memory came up was when the CO at the time and the RSM wanted to do, address our core training, and I think it was
Yes, yes, he was a strong man, wasn't he?
yeah,
Scary
yeah, yeah,
man too. Yeah.
yeah. And like the CO spoke first day, and it was like softly spoken. He sounded like he was quoting Macbeth.
Yep.
That's the way he spoke, and we're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. And
Yep.
then RSM straight away he just hammered, all right, this is gonna be the 3 months of your life. It's gonna be the hardest, And he just started going like this, and then all the boys were like, oh wow, yeah, no, this is business now. This is business now. And after that, 3 fellas signed out. Seven
Wow.
ones,
Yeah,
yeah, they
wow,
wanted to
far
be
out.
out. He
That
scared
late in the
3 fellas
game.
on their core training, and I was just like, man, that man's got an effect, but he's there to, for wanting us to be there. And then obviously once you march out of call training, far out. It was an awesome feeling to be part of the battalion. And
Yeah. Yep.
with our group, we got split in half. So half got went over to Bravo Company, and the other half went to Delta Company.
Oh, yeah. And where did you go?
So I went to Delta Company.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Went to Delta Company, 12 platoon, and yeah, it was all right, eh? Like, the lads brought you all in, but you still have to prove yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you when you went in after core training, you joined the companies that already had old digs in there already
Yeah,
rolling. Yeah, so after our
yeah,
core
yeah.
training, we were all together. So it was just like our BASIC just went into our core training went into nicer accommodation.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. Yeah, yeah, you fellas right across from the AGI and all that, eh?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that
those
was
barracks.
right across the road from the Baggies bar too.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
the bar. Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
And I,
what was that feeling like going in with dudes that had already been in there for a while before you got there?
oh, for me, it's sort of like, just keep your mouth shut, keep your ears open, keep your eyes open, and make sure you do your job and do it real well
Yep.
because you're just new to the company
Yeah, yep.
and you're just new. Like when I got in there, we had like 7, 8 year baggies.
Yeah, so they've been
Yeah,
there for a while. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
baggies had been in there for a while. So that
Mm,
was the thing, is that you do your time as a baggie, and then if you're lucky enough, you get promoted to a lance corporal. But by then, you've done all the positions within the section, so you've got a pretty good, solid understanding of how your section operates.
yep.
Yeah. One of the memories I have in Delta Company was we had a sergeant come posted down from 1 battalion. You
Okay.
know,
Yep.
you've got that second, first 1 battalion rivalry, and we were just going, oh yeah, I'm on how is he gonna, what's he gonna be like, and all that stuff, eh? And yeah, he's just started charging all of us left, right, and centre, eh?
Oh, wow. So come down hardcore.
Yeah, he came down there with standards, eh? And like
And
two
you got
one to
charged?
go.
Did you get charged?
Oh yeah, yeah, I got
What did you
charged
get
because
charged for?
like a 5 cent piece growing here, like didn't shave properly and all that.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So little things like that, but those are the standards that he wanted to set. Yeah, yeah. So the 2-1 Mexicans.
yeah, yeah. They want to straighten us up a bit, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wanted to straighten us up a bit, but the older fellas took us under their wing,
That's
and
cool.
taught us they could really operate in the bush and what was required and all that stuff. Just to fine tune our skills. Obviously, we had the fitness and all that, eager as, but they were just enhancing our skill level, eh? And yeah, and really enjoyed that because we started becoming tighter as a platoon, as a section, platoon, and company.
Yeah, cool, man. And right training as well.
Oh man, I'm not sure if you fellas remember, but we did
Oh,
riot training for
I
this
remember
platoons
it,
or
bro.
companies.
It was hardcore, man. I think there's some footage somewhere. Someone's got it. I don't know who, but man,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was.
yeah. Oh,
It's still talked about today. From when I talk to people, they always talk about that riot training.
yeah, yeah. It was out the 189.
Yeah, that one,
You
the
know,
big one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, the big one, eh? And like I remember Delta Company, eh? So the fellas that were writing against us was support company.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And some of the boys that were training me out when I was in Delta Company, got posted to support, and then we had this right training. And I remember this 22, 28 truck with a trailer, and it was just jam packed with potatoes. It was jam packed with potatoes, eh? And they just dropped it all off, like probably about 200 meters away, and I was just like, oh man, And I think we had the police and the dogs there as
Yeah,
well.
and the fire trucks and
Yeah,
everything.
we had the fire trucks and everything, eh? And I think they had Molotov cocktails going
Yeah,
on there as well. Trying to make it as realistic as possible, eh? And oh man,
it was
at the
realistic.
start,
Heaps of people ended up in hospital afterwards, I heard.
yeah, yeah. I remember who was it? The potatoes were getting thrown so hard, that it threw some of the guys that were on the water cannons on the fire engines like off. Because
Oh, wow.
you see the water just going to town on someone, and then it just went straight up in the air
Yeah.
because they got melted. Um, I remember one of the fellas, so it was all staged that the dog was going to attack one of the lads,
Yep.
but because he was so tall, I'm sure this guy was in Bravo Company. because he was so tall, the dog jumped, missed his arm, and yeah, got him straight in the old
Yeah,
gene.
I remember that. I think the sack got ripped open and had to
Yeah,
get some
yeah,
surgery
that's
done to
right.
get it fixed up. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, out of it. And we've done some CQB training as well when we were in the army.
Yeah, we I think it was as well as companies, and we were broken down into platoons on the parade ground. And we all had our own CQB instructors and all that. And man, it was just awesome, eh? Because you could just go hard, eh? And people were breaking their noses.
Yeah,
You know, we had mouth guards, but some people didn't wear them.
yeah. I don't think I had a mouth. I can't remember wearing a mouth guard.
Yeah, no, no, neither. So you're just fighting for survival and just making sure that you didn't, lose teeth or break your nose or anything.
Yeah. How
You
about the
know.
gauntlet?
Oh, I remember walking down the gauntlet, I could see key people away that just wanted to, give it. And I was like, oh yeah, all right then, all right then. And I remember this one fella, he just started going, so I squared up with him, trying to go toe to toe. Yeah, trying to go toe to toe with him, and he just snot, flame flying everywhere. And I remember when I got clocked, and I hear this boo, oh, better carry on before I end up on the floor.
Oh yeah,
Oh, good
awesome.
times, man. Good
Oh,
times.
and it toughens you up too, eh? It's good tough training
Yeah.
like that, makes turns. We actually felt like men when we were soldiers, eh? And at the time, and we all had people to look up to as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It creates character, within yourself, And then I suppose the other thing that you look at, is it gives you that sense of belonging, and then
Mm,
your ego, your personal ego, and how you maintain that is real important later years in life. But yeah,
absolutely.
you'd go to the bar and just have a drink with the mate that you've just have had a good go with 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, just
Mm.
like brothers, eh? You could, yeah, it was even on the, you'd have a few drinks and sometimes have some fights, but the next day everyone was normally 99% of the time they're still pretty sweet and like, yeah, sorry, bro, sorry, all good, and then you just
Yeah,
carry
yeah,
on with it, eh? Mm,
yeah. It's that mutual understanding, around
yeah.
that like conflict. Yeah, so it was
Yeah,
awesome.
and there was a lot of other older soldiers there that we looked up to as well. I suppose having good role models was all part of that journey, eh?
Oh yeah, yeah. Some of the guys that I looked up to, they were just real awesome operators in the bush, Some of them like sort of like struggled camp, drill, hated drill. You
Yep.
know, I hated drill as well, like that sort of stuff. But out in the bush, exercises and all that, doing stuff tactical, man, they were just well-oiled operators, It was just, yeah, I'm gonna learn a lot off you,
Yeah.
off you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want to be like that. I want to get to support company and be one of those ninjas.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You
Yeah.
start taking bits and pieces, and emulating them, and then just make it your own,
Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
And you ended up over in support company as well?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be posted over to recon platoon.
Oh, choice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, over to recon platoon. So, that was quite a good privilege, because it was a challenge personally for me to try and get into that space over into recon platoon. So when I actually made it, it was like awesome. And then it was just another level from the rifle companies,
Yeah,
you know.
I ended up over in Recon Platoon as well for after Bat 2 though. You were in Recon for Bat 2. So and you deployed to East Timor for that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Went over to East Timor for that, and like, it was awesome, Like we were getting taken everywhere, Oh, when it was still blue roll, you know what I mean?
Yep, yep.
Everything, and hearts and minds and all that. And we were enjoying our time over there. And then once the contact with Manning happened,
Yeah.
obviously the tempo switched. Yeah, and we were doing like 10, 14-day OP patrols, recce
Yep.
patrols, back for 4, out for 10, back for 2, out for 14, and all that. Yeah, yeah. So the tempo was quite high, And like, um, the sort of like the feelings that we had over there, there was no more motivation needed after what happened over there.
Yeah, it changed big time after that
Yeah,
contact, didn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It changed massively, and like, I remember, I remember being in an OP, and I was on the radio watch, and then we got, remember when they had those trigrams that they sent?
Oh, yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like, it was a big ass trigram just to get like one sentence out there. And
Yeah, yeah,
that's
codes,
when they,
man.
yeah, yeah, the codes, and that's when they sent out Manning's contact. And yeah, we were just, far out, we can't believe it. Then I come on to Porter and just goes, we've got a job to do. We need to maintain our job, and we'll see what happens from here. So yeah, the motivation just went up tenfold.
Yeah, yeah,
And like yeah, I'm real lucky that we got to deploy over with second first, and we had, you know, some amazing operators, good commanders over there.
yeah, absolutely. I think that was a really good deployment, that one there, and there was a lot of challenging times and things like that during that deployment as well. And you deployed back there a second time as well, is that right?
Yeah, so after that, after BAT 2, I took a year's leave without pay.
Okay.
Yeah, I took a year's leave without pay, and then I got back in, but it was with one battalion at one RNZIR. So yeah,
Oh wow! So you ended up where you had to wear your uniform properly and have short hair.
yeah, yeah, and had shaves, and shaved properly. Yeah, so I took a year's leave without pay, but then I actually got out of the battalion and I got back in like 3 years later. So '04,
Yeah.
I joined back up with one battalion, and I was sort of lucky because at the time, or lucky in a way, because my platoon sergeant in the battalion, and recon platoon was a platoon sergeant when I got back in.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, at one battalion, so that transition was quite easy.
Yeah.
But at that time, private contracting, security contracting was taking off, and they were taking like uh, individuals from the battalions. So by the time
Okay.
I got back in, probably about 80% of corporals, sergeants, staff sergeants, and woes had gone off onto the circuit. So there was a
Yeah, right. So there was a big vacuum of
yeah,
hierarchy disappeared, eh?
yeah, there was a massive gap there, eh?
Mm.
Massive gap. So like all that looking up to for training and all that had sort of like gone.
Yeah.
And so when I got back in, I stayed in a rifle company, and within 9 months, I was a private. Within 9 months, I was a full corporal.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so it was a double-edged sword, eh?
Yeah.
You know?
But you would have had that would have been a lot of your previous experience though to go up that fast. But they still have to fill the spots as well at the same time,
Yeah,
don't they?
and I think that was it at the time. At the time in battalion, is that they needed spots to fill.
Yeah.
So they were looking around, and I was just like, oh, what the? Because I was hoping to still do like 6 years, and then get a lance corporal and all that. But that was just
Yeah.
how it was back in that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So one battalion, very different to second first.
Yeah. So
Can
what was it like being up in one battalion? Please tell us the difference. Yeah.
can say that. Oh, like um, I suppose second first day, like very relaxed, got the
Yeah.
job done. You know, got the job done. And time and place for like sort of like drills and skills and all that. One battalion, they expected those standards right across the board from start to finish. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and it took me a while to get used to it because I was still holding on to the two one ways, so to say.
Yeah. Yeah. And you couldn't get posted back down there?
Nah,
Uh,
nah, because my wife at the time, yeah, we're staying here because we had a business established and all that,
yeah. Fair one.
you know, yeah, up here. So it's just like, oh, no, all right then, so I can wave that goodbye. Yeah. So the only time I got to see the boys was Lone Pine.
Oh, okay. And then,
Lone Pine.
so you deployed to Afghanistan with 1st Battalion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so this was in 2008.
Yep.
Yeah, lucky enough to go over there, and that was yeah, that was interesting, because it was sort of like a tri-service operation. So Navy, Army, Air Force integrated into the patrols.
Yeah. Wow. So you had members from different forces, even right down to in the same
Yep,
section.
yep, yep, yep. So you'd have like a 12 man patrol, and then the patrol commander could be Air Force,
Yep.
patrol 2IC could be Navy, and so that's how it sort of like worked out. But there was this understanding, that from an infantry or combat um, teeth core point of view, is that our responsibility was always to make sure that the information and the security and all that and the drills and skills were passed on as much
Yeah.
as we could to our patrol because that was important.
So
Yeah.
you'd teach the Air Force and the Navy people how to be soldiers, basically, give
Oh
them
yeah,
tips and
yeah,
stuff
pretty
like
much.
that all the time, eh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good
Just
on
see
you.
what they had in their schools, but we had to. That was our responsibility,
Yep.
and plus our job because at the end of the day, we're a patrol over there for 6 months. Yeah, that was another high-end sort of like operational tour for me, because there was a lot of contacts going on and stuff. So you're you're at a real peak,
Yeah.
emotionally.
Or fight or
Emotionally.
flight mode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, sort of like that. So probably within 3 months, I went into a stage of insomnia.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got a bout of insomnia, and I didn't know what that was about.
Mm.
And then I started researching it up, and then I realized what it was, and I was like, okay, then I had to find ways to sort of like calm myself down, and it lasted for about 2 months, and then it just disappeared on its own. Yeah,
Yeah. That would have been a bit of a struggle. Being sleep deprivation as well at the same
yeah,
time as
yeah.
sort of not really knowing why is this happening to me? Hey.
I was lucky if I could sleep an hour. If I
Wow.
got an hour's sleep, yeah, for 2 months, and I do not know how I just functioned on fumes, but
Yeah. And
yeah,
coffee, I guess.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
coffee and fumes, yeah,
adrenaline. Hey.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's up there, yeah. But the one thing that came out of that tour was the SOPs that you teach, and they start becoming instinctive. They work.
Yeah.
They absolutely work because at the end of the day, if you do get into a contact and all that, because people react differently to it, eh?
Yes, that's right.
And
Yep.
you don't know how people are going to react until they're in it,
Mm.
themselves, and they can't control their feelings. And once an individual gets through that, then the next thing that kicks in is what they've instinctively been taught.
Yeah.
And yeah, for us, it was that training, and when I got a first-hand sight of that, I was just like, yeah,
Training takes over. Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
training takes over. So I believe that what we're doing and what we're training, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
that's what you've been training for your whole career is to get to that point too as well. And on return to New Zealand, was there some mental challenges that came with that as well?
yeah, for sure. So, like, it took me about 2.5 years to sort of like come off the level that I was on,
Yeah. Okay.
sort of like to decompress because I was still
Mm.
at a heightened state. And I remember walking uptown one time with my ex-wife, and a car backfired, and I instinctively grabbed her and I pushed her into an alcove of a shop, like the doorway of a shop. I spun around and I had my hand like this, like I was
Yeah.
whipping, and oh man. And then she sort of like hit me on the shoulder, just, why did you do that for? And sort of like I snapped out of it, and I was just like, oh my God. Yeah, so it took a while for certain things, just to simmer down.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
hard when that sort of stuff kicks in, and then afterwards you're like, oh,
yeah,
whoops.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then that by the time I came back from Afghan, I was sort of like struggling mentally, I
Yeah.
had a lot of sort of like pressures that I struggled to sort of like decompress from and all that. So there were a few other influences that were going on there, And then it got to a point where attempted suicide came into the picture.
Wow. Were you still serving? Still serving then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh.
So I was 3 months back from Afghan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gee.
yeah, yeah. So
Sorry, man. Yeah. Well, you're still here now, so
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable to talk about it, like
Yeah.
and stuff. And I got to a point where 2 months after coming back, took a trip over to the Gold Coast and all that, and
Yeah.
like nothing was making me happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing, there was absolutely nothing making me happy. And then I got to a point where I couldn't be sad,
Oh, bro.
couldn't cry. So the emotions started disappearing, like going away from me. And then I remember being outside the deck one morning and color disappeared, and it was just like a curtain just dropping, and then everything went black or white.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I lost color for about 2 weeks.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
yeah, major depression, brother. Hey.
yeah. And
Yeah.
that's what.
Thank you for talking about this and being vulnerable, bro. That's really inspiring, eh? And I think other people to see that, talking about things is even or even listening to people is healing in itself. And I really appreciate you talking about this part of your journey, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's fine. No, I think it's important to, be in a comfortable space to be able to get this out and stuff.
Hmm.
And yeah, um, I had to put myself into the unit like for 14 days, and like on the outside, I looked okay.
Yeah.
I had a successful family, I had a successful business, and I had a successful job. And but inside, I was just lost, crumbling, just head above water. Yeah, so I admitted myself into a unit, and probably day two, I was in my room at night, and the nurse came up to me, and she just goes, "Oh, you got a phone call?" And it was one of the brothers he was over in Afghanistan. I sort of like rotated with him.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, they found out over there, so he rang me up.
Good on
Yeah,
them.
just a chicken. He was just like, "How are you, brother?" I was like, "Could be better, bro. Could be better."
Yeah.
Just trying to carry on. Yeah, and oh, bro, it was just awesome. Awesome that support.
Yeah.
Just that you know that you're there and all that. Mm.
A-
So
And what was your turnaround from in hospital? How was there a turnaround point there, or did you just manage to band-aid it to keep going, or what happened there mentally?
I think I just band-aided it,
Yeah.
So had to talk to the professionals and all that stuff because I think what I had in my head was that I didn't want to have a massive impact on my career.
Yeah.
So that was sort of like the main focus.
Yeah.
And then the other side of it was, okay, how do I make this work without going down that pathway again? Yeah, yeah. So it was unhealed, and then that was the reason why I chose to do it that way. So I got given all this medication and all that, and I knew why I needed it for
Yeah.
that period of time. And then once I felt that I didn't need it, I took myself off it.
Yeah.
I took myself off the medication, against doctor's orders. They were going crazy at me, and I was just like, you know what? I think I do not need this stuff, and I know that what I'm saying feels right.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
on you, bro. I think
yeah,
we
yeah,
I went through a similar thing where over here I was on heaps of pills at one stage, and
yeah,
I was just got to that stage where I don't want to take them anymore, and I got off all the pills as well. But that's a bit of a mental change in our head, I think. But that's through it's not through self-sabotage, it's through self-growth, I think, because
yeah,
for me the meds started to fog I didn't feel myself.
yeah, 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 exactly. In a way, I could understand why they were giving me the medication for here, but then once I felt like it was okay enough, I took myself straight off it, and I knew I didn't need it. I needed to do this for myself
Yeah.
in a clear space. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, man.
cool. And then got released out of hospital and back into to work, was it? Or
I think I had about 6 to 9 months off
yeah.
while I got myself sorted. So I went back to Warrell,
Yeah.
went back to Idle, went back to the family, and then just started taking myself through basics again, sort of like, restart. Yeah. And then um, once we got over that, well, straight back into battalion.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Back to
yeah.
first battalion, was it?
Yep, straight
Yeah.
back to first battalion. Where was I? Training. I think I was in training wing.
Yeah, right. And how
Yeah,
many
yeah.
more years did you do in battalion before you got out of the army?
7, another 7 years.
Jeez, wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
Another
did you
thing.
did any of those mental health problems that arose come back and haunt you later on during that 7 years?
Um, I don't think they came back like as much as they did, or as hard as they did. There'd be times where I'd be sad,
Yeah.
you know, have a hard day and all that, but I won't be in there for as long as I used to. So
Yeah.
over a period of time, it was getting less and less.
Yeah, that's good. I think we learn the tools as it goes along. I think part of going into these dark places is also important because we get to learn what it feels like when we're there, and we remember from the previous time how we got out of that situation, I guess, eh?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Like for me, it's because of the things that have gone on in my life, I could be happy and sad at any given moment,
Yeah.
and it's understanding that whatever feeling that I'm in there going, oh, yeah, okay, then just acknowledge it and then just carry on.
Yeah,
Have to carry
exactly.
on. Don't think about it too much.
Because we all have good and bad days, and reminiscing on things isn't healthy for us because we can cause some of our own dramas if we think about things too much, eh?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And I think one of the main contributing factors why I internalize so much is because of the time in the infantry and when you're on exercise or on operations and you're doing tactical maneuvers, everything's silent. So
Yep.
you're sitting there in your own thoughts anyway.
Yeah.
And I carried that on. I
Wow, I
carried that.
didn't actually think about that before, bro. That makes a lot of sense, eh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I figured that out myself probably about 5 years ago because, when you're in a tactical space, you're talking to yourself, you're having this massive conversation in your head in silence.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, when we're patrolling through the bush, we're there for hours with all our mates, but we don't actually ever talk to each other out
No,
loud, and it's just hand signals, and it's a
yeah,
vibe, bro. I guess, that we're
yeah,
all on that same vibe at the same time. And then,
yeah, exactly.
how was your transition into the civvy life, bro? The other side of the green machine. This one's a good one. For myself, wasn't what I expected. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in the same boat, eh? Like when I got out of the army, obviously I had all these expectations, and that was probably the incorrect way to approach civil life. Certain expectations, but not at the level of, what we had in the military. So I did a role over in Lake Waikato Moana, so I was managing the huts and the tracks of the Great Walk.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, yeah, and it was beautiful. It was a breeze, like it was real easy. But then I found out the people that you work with, they don't have that same motivation or the expectation or the level of urgency that we have.
Yeah, yeah,
So I started getting frustrated around that side of things. So that's when it was a big culture shock that I had sort of like had to release or relax some of the expectations that I had within myself of others.
yeah,
Was it started affecting me? Yeah, it started affecting me. So that was good. And then I went over to the mines over in WA.
oh yeah, cool. Aussie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Went over to Oz, got a taste of that, and it was very similar to like going on a 2 week exercise. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
Yeah,
I found that transition real easy. It was just the people that you work with, because they're there for their own reasons.
yeah. Everyone's got their own agendas, haven't they?
Yeah, everyone's got their own agendas, and there's it can be toxic depending on which angle that you look at.
Yeah,
Which area that you put yourself into, eh? So it was okay, but then I also struggled with that side of things as well because it's integrity is a big thing, eh? And like sometimes I struggled seeing it around in Civvy Street.
yeah. The
You
lack of it.
Yeah, the lack
Yeah,
of integrity
yeah,
around. So I started getting frustrated at that, eh? And sometimes I'd voice my concerns, and that'll put me in the black box over here because of that, you
yeah,
know? Yeah, so I started transitioning life just through work, and every now and then, if it didn't work for me, then I had to either turn something loose and just relax that a little bit, or, if I was real passionate about that, then find another way around it. You
yeah,
always have to find other options around it. So it's been a never-ending, like, work in progress, so to say. Yeah.
yeah. This whole thing's a work in progress. And how long did you do the mines for? And what are you doing now?
So 4 years. 2017, I started over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a truck operator and all that, and like that was, you know, those big dump trucks are easier to drive than these sedan cars that we've got, on our roads.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, everything is just to scale, so everything is massive, you know.
Cool,
And,
man.
yeah, yeah. And then by the time I finished, I ended up being a trainer assessor, so onboarding people on site, passing them out on machinery, and then checking up on them, doing toolbox safety meetings and stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah, the only
cool.
reason why I stopped was because of COVID.
Right. Yeah. And came back to New Zealand?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because
Yep.
COVID stopped and I didn't know what was going on between travel and all that. I didn't want to be stuck over there, so I finished that up and came back to New Zealand. So now I work with our kaumātua, our nannies, and our youth at schools. Yeah, yeah. So help
Awesome.
strength and balance programs for our nannies and taking our youth through motivation programs.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. What sort of motivational programs do you do with them, and what age group is this?
So it's targeting sort of like the high school, so year nines up, year nines to year 13s, and it's giving them the opportunity to just, if they're sort of like struggling, and this is what we notice, if they're struggling in the classrooms, like in four walls and all that, we give them the ability to sort of like learn outside of that. So it could
Yeah.
be like with daily life skills, you know, how they handle themselves in their own room, like setting themselves up, like on basic training, you
Yeah,
know,
really cool.
making
Oh,
their bed, giving them a routine and all that, making sure their stuff is squared away with a vehicle, how to change a tire, how to change the oil, what to
yeah.
look for, that sort of stuff. Basic cooking skills. So if they are hungry, they are able to do that sort of stuff, and it's simple things like that. And then we take them out as well, doing Morako courses, taking them on the marae.
Yeah, awesome, bro. That sounds really inspiring, man. And thanks heaps for coming on the podcast and getting deep with the mental health stuff, man. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure the audience will as well. If you could go back and change something in your life, would you do that? Would you tell yourself, earlier self, something different, or?
Honestly, probably not, because I wouldn't be here where I am right now,
Yeah,
I've been given a second chance at life, so there's a reason why I'm still here, feet firmly planted on the ground. So obviously I've got a gift to give.
yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but no, I want to thank you for having us on here. It's just been awesome, and like talking about stuff, all sorts of stuff is just shoulders are a little bit lighter, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it's really, really inspirational, man. I really enjoyed listening to the story, bro, and everyone's got a story to get out, and this will inspire people to get on and tell their stories, or even pick up that phone and ring up a mate and say, oh, I had a bit of a bad day. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
thanks heaps for coming on the Strong, Happy, Healthy Love podcast. And I'm going to send you a free t-shirt, bro, to wear. Strong, Happy, Healthy, Loved on the front. It's 100% organic cotton, and 22% of the profits goes to mental health organisations such as Beyond Blue and ADHD Foundation. So thanks heaps, Mike, for coming on the show. I really appreciate it, mate. And awesome.
Awesome, brother. Thank you for having us, and it's good to see you, bro.
Good to see
Good
you
to
too,
see
my
you.
man. Strong, happy, healthy love. More than a t-shirt, it's a message. 100% organic cotton. $50 each. Free shipping in Australia. Free international shipping when you buy 2 or more. 22% of profits donated to mental health. You choose where it goes at checkout. Beyond Blue, ADHD Foundation, or future SHHL projects. Order yours now.